Saul was completely alone, aside from a slacking librarian, in his usual hideaway during the deep of the night. He sat in the middle of a stretched table surrounded by open books and papers, with multiple notes scribbled onto scraps to help formulate his next book, though his previous ones had only found enough success to keep him financially scraping by. Despite having been one of the few to prevent Kobruh's tyranny, and the only one to document the journey, he was rarely recognized in public, and not nearly enough to be in the collective cultural consciousness. To his right rested a pill-shaped container held up by a three-pronged stand containing a plasma-like white substance. Saul was hunched down in his work, eyes darting from book to book. Out of the corner of his eye, he noticed the white substance start to change. He dropped his pencil and shoved his books aside. He dragged the stand across the table to have a better look at the substance. Its color was morphing to gain a green hue.
That's not right,
Saul muttered to himself. He tapped the container to see if something, somehow, had simply malfunctioned. Nothing had, though, and the substance only continued distorting into a darker green until it was that of an eclipsed moss. Saul drifted back in his chair and put his hand on his forehead, trying to figure out why the substance had drastically changed color all of a sudden.
That doesn't make sense. Unless...
Saul rapidly sifted through his work.
Shit, where did I put it?
Saul asked himself in a fluster. At the bottom of the pile of all his notes, he found what he was looking for. A blue book.
Ah, here it is.
He scoured the pages until he found the one he had bookmarked. He skimmed over the text. Saul mumbled the words aloud his brain was once again processing, after reading it last so long ago.
Using galaxial technology, the crystal surrounded the reptilian criminal and absorbed him.
Saul stopped once he found the lines that inspired his manic search.
Once everyone on the planet is turned into an inferior reptilian creature to serve Kobruh, the crystal then has the power to take everyone on his planet under its control. What the crystal has planned for these controlled life forms, I do not know.
He diffidently closed the book.
It's happening.
He took a moment to recoup his thoughts.
Oh god, it's happening. I have to tell people about this. I need to warn everyone.
Saul reached into his pocket and scrambled to pull out his phone. He hastily turned it on while sweat overtook his palms. The numbers 114 displayed on the screen. Saul groaned and rolled his head. Who would be awake at this time and willing to discuss a potential invasion with him? Saul opened his contacts and scrolled down the list of names. He glanced over the names of people who he hadn't talked to in who knows how long. The few people that he did talk to, he ruled out. They were all asleep or had work in the morning. His eyes shifted left and right reading the names. At last, his thumb touched the screen to halt it from moving. As he peered at the name in front of him, he realized there was someone who he could talk to at this very moment. He had to get all of this news off his chest. He couldn't keep it in any longer. He put his phone away and slovenly scooped all of his materials together into a brown, tattered messenger bag. He then rushed out of the library to his car. He climbed into the driver's seat and shoved his bag into the passenger seat. He drove off, his only goal to warn those who would listen of what was to come.